Well, hey and welcome everybody. I'm so excited to be here with you today. Today is November 11th, 2020, and this is your Team Prosperity Wednesday meeting. Today is actually Veterans Day, so thank you all for all that have served. Much appreciated, and I wanted to go over a few things before I bring up Mike to do his great presentation. So let me go ahead and grab mine, and we'll go ahead and get started. All right, 11/11/2020. It's a great manifestation day, so I hope everybody's doing well. Wanted to talk about a few things that have been going on this week and ways that I can bring value. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is finding more crusaders like yourselves. It's really important to want to build, a big business and make a lot of money, but we really want people that are driven by the mission of helping others, teaching people how money works. There's a lot of great things that we do for people, and we really want more crusaders. And hiring up, I wanted to take a minute to talk about this. Quality over quantity every single time. You really want to hire up because like you would date up, you want to find better and better people. As you get more confident, you can talk to a higher echelons of people, people that you think might be out of your league. I'm constantly talking to people who write books, people who do TEDx calls, big leaders of big networks, because what we do is important and what we do is powerful, and we're in a really great spot. So keep trying to hire up and bring in better people, and that's also going to help you pivot more, because if you bring in better people, they're going to see more value in what we're doing, and it's going to create more buying and selling opportunities as well on the client side. Really what I'm doing now is after they look at the information and I follow up with them, send them additional information if needed, follow up with them. Really, how much more can they see, right? They just really need to experience with the client the value and the solutions that we can find for the client. And that's really the pivot. So do more of that. And as you pivot more, as you bring in better people, you're going to get no's, right? You might get more no's if you're talking to better people, but that's where the yes lives, right, is in the land of no's. And you have to just kind of laugh it off, I always tell people, hey, it's not for everybody, and if it's not for you, we're still going to stay friends. It's okay, we're still going to look forward to seeing your post or whatever it is, you have to laugh it off, because what we do is really important, but it's definitely not for everybody, and we don't want everybody, So if you get a no, somebody's having a bad day, it's not your fault, just laugh it off, have a good time with it. I know that we've had so many people want to know more about LinkedIn, how to get better on LinkedIn, how to get more out of LinkedIn. Mike's going to go over a lot of stuff, and I'm just going to go over just a few just simple things. LinkedIn is really just a great free tool that can lead to phone calls. I've never had a paid account. I've always just used the free account. And really what I'm doing is on the messaging side, of course, I'm trying to have, be seen, liking, commenting, sharing, doing things like that. But on growing my network, I'm finding the right people. I'm inviting them to connect. I'm sending them a connection message. And you can automate your LinkedIn. Pretty incredible that you can set up all of these things to kind of make it go on its own. You want to send an intro message. Follow up on those who want to talk until it's scheduled. If there's no response, 7 to 10 days later, I send a help message based on what they do. Follow up on the ones that want to talk to me about that until they're scheduled. 7 to 10 days later, you can send a how many works message. Follow up on those until those people are scheduled. And it's really just about finding your follow-up style, getting organized. And for me, like any reason is a great reason for an intro call. I'll pop, if you want to schedule a quick intro call, let me know your availability. On the back of every single message I pretty much send out, my birthday, their birthday, new job, promotion, graduated school, started school, work anniversary, wrong designation. Any reason is a reason to open up conversation and get on the phone for a few minutes with people. any reminder, any suggestion. I got this guy, I've got a few people that I sent the wrong message to, and they're like, hey, I don't do that. And I'm like, well, what do you do? Let's talk about it. You know, people love to talk about themselves. They do. So, you know, let them talk, take notes, find out if there's any solutions that we offer with the business or our products that can help them and help them get to their goals. And I think that LinkedIn engagement is highly underrated. Like commenting on highly trafficked posts gets you so much visibility, even if you don't have any network, you know, so don't forget to do that. Some of these posts will have thousands and thousands of likes and comments, and if you comment on one of those, everybody that's commented on it will get an email saying so-and-so commented. You know, people will want to connect with you, follow you, chat with you because your comment was good, you know. So do that, and then stay organized. You know, that's really the name of the game. Like, you've worked so hard to get somebody that wants to talk to you, and then just leaving in the middle of a conversation, not finishing it, not getting them scheduled while trying to find new people to not follow up with makes no sense. You know, if you have a small amount of time, you should follow up with interested people before you're trying to look for more people to be interested. So this is my follow-up style. I use my CRM calendar. I have a list of people that I'm in mid-conversation with about scheduling. Then once they get scheduled, I move them over to the other side of, you know, the spreadsheet where I track them this way with my different colors and things like that. But that's my style. You're going to have your own style. So if you need my help, let me know. Talk to your leaders. We have lots of things to help you get organized. And that's pretty much what I have. Thank you all so much. Give me just 1 second.
All right, you guys, hope everybody's doing well. We just want to get into the front side of what's going to be a two-part series on LinkedIn training. And if you guys really understand the power of what you can get done on LinkedIn right now, then I think together, combined with this week and next week, we'll have a playbook for 2021 that will extract value on the client level, partner level, organizational level. So we're going to talk about that today, along with a couple other things that might have come up this week. We're getting into the last little home stretch of this year. See what you can get accomplished. Push into 2021 on the springboard. We got a lot of great stuff happening. Our 2021 for this group and what we're doing is going to be very, very explosive if you allow it to be for yourself. The reason that we do what we do on a virtual level and why we were doing this way before COVID is because we know that the volume of what we can put through in virtual offices far trumps what we could ever do in a traditional build-out, more efficient, less cost on the fixed and variable level. So it just makes us more profitable, more efficient, and able to serve the client need in a much better way. And if we're going to do that, if we're going to use all these virtual tools and we're going to use this environment to build something on a distribution level that's nationwide, coast to coast, we also need to learn how to beat other people at the game. And that's where the 12-week year comes in. If you can get done in 1 year what most people would take 4 years to get done, well, you can imagine what you start doing over 36, 48-month process. Also, something that's come up this week that I want you guys to understand is you need to evaluate what's going on in your business. We talk about the successes. Yeah, we want to learn from that, but we also want to learn from the failures as well. So where are my leads coming from on a partner or a customer basis? Where do they come from? How do they get to me? And then why did the conversation come about? And then what was the outcome of that? The reason I want you guys to understand this is because different quality of people, like Alana was talking about, quality over quantity. Different quality people are going to come from different parts of what you do in the marketing circle. So you need to analyze and observe what's going on. And sometimes you actually need to cut stuff off that's not returning you the quality of a partner or client that you're looking for. And then when you do find something, you need to pour fuel on that that's working to extract as much value as you can out of that. And also another thing that we have to understand is that the more automation we put into our business model on the things that we can automate, it frees us up to reinvest that time into things that we need to be an active participant in. So if we've got an email marketing campaign and it's automated and we load somebody in there and it takes care of the rest of it, Well, that is a huge asset for us to have because manually, it's up to us. Remember, it's not always going to be done, and it's going to make sure that we have everything in place for X period of time. Now, building an email marketing campaign might take you a little bit of time, but remember, the upfront time investment into that and the fact that you can just load people in there and have that work continuously for the next 12, 18, 24 months until you might need to change it, well, that's got great value for you. So understand the time investment, what that returns. Sometimes it's worth spending a few hours getting this stuff set up. And then also you need to understand your markets. Remember, on the warm market, you've got that affiliation, you've got the relationship. In the common market, we teach you guys, you have some type, even though that person doesn't know you, you have some type of bridge or association or commonality, whether that be school, whether that be an employer, a civic group. It gives you a little entrance with that, rapport, trust, credibility of the common market to get in front of somebody. Social media marketing is a huge opportunity now going forward. And then we do spend some time in the cold market. The reason I want to bring this up is if we spend too much time in the cold market, it's going to get really frigid there. And our business needs other parts to function. We cannot build it all in the cold market. If we do that, it's going to be a long, drawn-out process, and this becomes a grind because right now in my business, I like dealing with you guys as entrepreneurs. I like dealing with most of the clients. So this feels like an opportunity for me that I go into every day with some excitement. If I don't do that, then it's going to feel like a grind, and in the trenches of doing this on a day-in, day-out basis, I'm not going to find the motivation to get it done. So make sure you give yourself an opportunity to get to the rest of these markets. And think expansion all the time, guys. Even on your worst day, I want you to think about expansion because look at these numbers. These are the iPhone numbers over an 11-year period of time. So no matter where you are right now, if you have an idea of where you want to go and you have something that's going to get you there, think about the market size, think about our product and services. Yes, we're in a good position. The velocity and the multiplier of growth can pick up when you have a technological-based model. While you're thinking of expansion, you also want to think about how do you bring value to the marketplace. And you have to understand that when you're looking at your marketplace, a majority of the people that you're going to be dealing with are ultra fearful of money. They fear money. It's their number one thing looking forward that they're fearful of. So when you understand that, you have to understand how to approach people in a way that's going to give them the opportunity to feel comfortable enough to raise their hand and say, yeah, can I talk to you more about that? Can I get more information? Hey, I want to know more about this. If you approach people in the wrong way, too much financial language, over the top, they're not going to feel like they're comfortable enough to approach you. And that's important because, like Mark Cuban says here, money's a scorecard, and you rank yourself against how other people are doing. So think about if you and I sat down to play a game, and I knew the rules, you didn't know the rules, and then you lost. Well, of course, you didn't know the rules to the game. If you had known the rules to the game, you might have stood a better chance to put up, a competitive match. Same thing with money. If nobody knows how money works, of course they're losing the game, and they're not showing well on the scoreboard. Equipped with the right type of information, education to start making the better decision, they start to climb up on the scoreboard. And we do that by not overwhelming them with all of these things they need to do, by showing them, hey, your life as you live it right now, you're leaking money. You should have an approach where you guard your money, and that happens with simple changes they can make right now today. And it's their responsibility. Remember, we can show people how to get where they want to go. It's their responsibility to take the action step. And if they don't, remember, it's always a fork in the road. If you don't take this, then you're going down this path, and we ultimately know what this is probably going to look like. So like Robert Kiyosaki says, you're either going to be a master of your money or a slave to it. It's their choice, but ultimately we can lead them, but they've got to take the action step. And that's what brings us to LinkedIn today. So we're going to start with LinkedIn today. We're going to continue it next week, and I promise you guys, if you invest a little bit of time into this platform, it will provide lead generation on both sides of your business, a ton of contacts, and it will upgrade your network, like Alana said, so you're starting to talk to people that can have a significant impact in your business and what you're trying to do. Why do we just continue to preach LinkedIn because as the social media channels, as they generate leads, LinkedIn towers over the rest of them. And on the lead generation, as far as the best social network lead generator, LinkedIn, once again, is, they're making it happen for us. Also, if we're wanting to drive traffic to other places, parts of our brand, LinkedIn dominates that as well. And then on the number of conversions per social platform, LinkedIn dominates that way. So I've got Twitter, I've got Instagram. I extract very little value out of those, probably just because I don't put the time into that. I extract an extreme amount of value out of LinkedIn and some out of Facebook. This is where a majority of my social media concentration goes, because I know if I do what I need to do, if I build my audience and I engage with that audience in the way that I'm supposed to, and that I message them in a way that I'm supposed to, it's a 1, 2, 3 step to the phone. And once you get people on the phone, you've got the rapport, trust, credibility built. You're going to allow them to talk, gets the information out in the public. You're going to take notes, going to uncover a problem. You've got a solution and action step for it. Everything we've developed is very methodical if you allow it to be. And once again, this is just an image of what we're doing. We're taking social media and we're driving phone conversations that leads to outcomes. And those outcomes include absolutely nothing. They include partners and they include clients. So our job is to build our brand. Our job is not always to talk about ourselves, but to show interest in other people. That builds interest in what we're doing, but to build our brand, get our message out. And we do that by connecting. We do that by messaging. We do that by posting. We do that by interactions. And we do that by associating ourselves with the right groups. Now, you don't need to be a member of a lot of groups. You need to be members of the right groups that are going to allow you to go in and meet people, engage with people, talk about what you do, and extract value. If you're a member of 80 groups and you're extracting zero value out of all that, you need to start cutting those out and slimming those way down and be a master of just, a handful, 5, 10 groups that you understand what's going on and understand what you need to do. Like Alana was telling you guys, you need to take time. Every day you're getting those notifications in LinkedIn. Hey, this person's got a work anniversary. This person started a new job. Especially with COVID right now, there's so many people on the move. There's tons of those every morning. So you can do that templated response. Congrats on your new or congrats on your work anniversary. Congrats on the new job. Think about that. Everybody else is doing that. How do you stand out? Well, number one is you can do, like Alana says, offer an intro call. Also, number two, you can have a separate LinkedIn open and go back and just revisit that person real quick and see what kind of communication you got up to this point. Sometimes it's little to none, perfect for an intro call. Sometimes you've already talked to them. You can try to revisit that conversation. Remember, every time that you do something, think about what everybody else is doing. Try to do something a little bit more different. It opens more conversations, gets more eyes on your assets, gets you more outcomes. So on the message series, like I've told you guys time and time and time again, if this was up to me, a lot of it would not get done. So what I have to do is I have to bring automation to this. We're going to talk about this a little bit, and then we're also going to have a setup call that I have with David tomorrow that any of you guys can join in and see how to set this up. But ultimately, I'm looking to have an introduction message that leads to a percentage of intro calls. Out of the rest of that sample population, an answer no or did not answer, I'm coming back with a help call, help message. Out of the sample population left that does not answer or answers no, coming back with a how money works message. And all I'm trying to do, there's no companies, products, services mentioned. I'm trying to get to know them, trying to offer help based on who they are and what perceived problem I think they have, trying to open up this conversation, and I'm trying to drive a percentage of these with these messages to the phone over the first 30, 45 days that I'm connected with them. And if you do what we're asking you to do, anywhere from 15 to 28% of these people should end up on some type of a schedule for you guys to have a conversation. Helper 2 has a campaign level through workflows that you can set this up. Once it's set up, you can just let it run, and it'll do everything. It'll connect. It'll send the messages. It'll have the delays set up. Anything you want to do, once again, tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, I'm setting up, or I'm helping David set his up. Any of you guys that want to join in and watch, ask questions, be a great time, just let us know. We'll include you on the meeting link. Another thing that you guys have to understand, and not everybody's good at putting out content. I wasn't when I first started. I've gotten better at it, and that's because I put in a little time and effort into that. The reason I did that is because of this right here. I know that if I get on LinkedIn and I'm willing to put the content out, that there are a ton of content impressions on the LinkedIn feed, but there's only a very small percentage of that who are actually users sharing that content weekly. So what does that mean? Lots of eyes, much less content. So you can get out there and you can have something that gets widespread due to the fact there's not that many people yet on LinkedIn really taking up too much real estate. So what do you need? If I was brand new to LinkedIn and I was getting advice from somebody, here's what I think I would need to know. Well, you need followers, you need connections, but you also need great content. If I had to pick one of these to start out with, I know that if I produce the content, the followers will come. I hope that makes sense for you guys. This will attract the right type of people. So this will get you that, and then by doing that, you have a bigger audience, and your content as it goes out has a much wider audience spread as well. So if a picture is worth 1,000 words, then a video has to be worth at least 1.8 million words. Remember, in the next 12, 18 months, whatever it might be, most of the IP traffic on the internet is going to be video-based. You need to know what's coming and kind of ride that wave and put yourself in a position to capitalize on that. How do you do that? Well, you start educating yourself on what to post on social media, video content ideas to post, content that gets engagement. You need to study, and you need to find out and study from, look who's doing well on the platform. Study what they put out. Like Alana says, interact in those posts. If something's got, 1,000 likes and 500 comments, good opportunity to get in there, post something, because it will drive profile visits. Now, LinkedIn also knows that there's a limited time here before they reach scale. So in that time, they're going to allow you to get a lot of organic space. This is not going to last forever. So you guys need to, over the next year, 18 months, put as much time and effort as you can in LinkedIn, because the organic footprint that you have right now that you develop won't be taken away from you when they start to charge for the real estate. And also, guys, if you've ever noticed, if you put something out that was a decent post, it'll stay on feeds for days, even weeks. I'm sure you've seen this come through your feed. Something's very old, but it keeps continuing to get recycled. So you can have something, if it's worthwhile, show up for long periods of time, even weeks later. This is the algorithm for LinkedIn. We've gone over this before, but you need to understand that as content comes in, there's a quality scoring. If it doesn't meet that score, and if it's triggered, it's going to go over here to more scrutinization. If it does clear, it's going to go over to continuing displaying. They're going to monitor it. And so this is just a huge loop of things that happen that breaks down to one thing. You need to keep things in-house, and you need to create velocity on your post, which means that in-house means that I can do everything in the post, interact with it, do everything, still stay inside LinkedIn. Velocity is just that. It's getting people eyes and reactions as quickly as possible. So in-house versus outside, stay or go. That's the rule of thumb. Does somebody have to click on a link and go outside the post in LinkedIn to fully interact with the post, or can they stay inside LinkedIn for the entirety? If they stay inside LinkedIn for the entirety, the algorithm will reward you for that. And the quick engagement, this is what we have to work on, the likes, comments, shares, reaction as quickly as possible. That gains traction. The algorithm will say, people like this, let me show it to more people. So back to basics. When you're looking at your LinkedIn, number one, you need to be visible. Don't be the secret or the hidden agent. Make sure people can access your profile. Make sure it's public viewing. Also, don't turn it into a sales or a resume type profile. Turn it into a sales and marketing machine. Turn it into a lead generation machine for you. It's not just there for you to have, like I said, a resume type profile. It's there for you to create interaction, engagement, and lead generation from that. So your banner, your headline, all of this is very, very, very valuable real estate. So first of all, when somebody's looking at your profile, what's in it for them to connect with you? How are you going to help them, move away from pain towards their pleasure point? And how are you going to help them solve what you think their problems are? That's why we talk about you can't just connect with a bunch of random people. The algorithm is going to get confused. If you nail and kind of get down a segmented population of who you want to talk to and why, LinkedIn algorithm will start to understand that, and it will start to reward you for being defined and organized in your approach. Your summary. Remember, your summary is your, pitch to your audience. It's going to let them know, what you've been through, how you've done it, your successes, things that they're going to relate to. They're going to cause them to want to have communication and conversation with you. You want to add videos and image to every section. Remember, video content and image. It's all about visualization. That's very, very important, something that catches somebody's eye. You want to endorse your connections for skills. The most strategic way that I use this is after I have a call with somebody, if it comes up that they're in coaching, if they're in sales, whatever there is that came up in that conversation, I'll actually go back, and after that conversation, I'll endorse them for a couple things that came up. Once again, that's another positive interaction that I'm having with that person. Have a call to action. Don't just loop them around. Send them to places where they can register for a webinar, download a guide, get more information, watch a video, complete a survey. Remember, the more interactive your profile can be, more opportunity you have to capture contact information and create lead generation out of that. And then once again, connect with influencers. Watch what people who are successful on this platform are doing, and then mimic that. Join groups. Join the right groups. Interact with the groups. And once again, if you've got a bunch of groups and you've got zero value out of that, you need to slim down the number of groups and turn up the engagement in that groups. And then always, like we talked about, get creative, think outside the box. If everybody else is doing the same thing, be the contrarian, do the opposite. Remember, as you're getting those posts out there and you're getting the reactions, this is what the breakdown of what that means. So when you're looking at the statistical analysis and the key indicators of what your post has done, as you start to want to improve those analytics, just understand what each means. And then there's ways that you can go out. If you're addressing a certain audience, call them out. If you're asking for people's opinion, directly ask for it. There's some ways that you can go out there and position yourself to increase your engagement. And then you want to use content that works on LinkedIn. They want to know you. They want to know your passions. They want to know a little bit about, what you're all about. People are going to be drawn to you first, your brand, and then you can introduce company, product, services. But you're the front end, you're the brand. Who are you? And then remember, treat LinkedIn as your main and unique platform. So if you're going to post something from LinkedIn, you can take that link and you can post out to other places because, once again, the algorithm, if you're driving traffic from outside LinkedIn to LinkedIn, they're definitely going to reward you for that. Don't use this as a content promotion channel. If you're constantly doing that product, service, opportunity, and that's all you post, people are just going to ignore that. It's going to fall on deaf ears and blind eyes, and, all of a sudden you're going to get nothing out of this. Use hooks, stories. Remember, an engaging hook is critical to stop people from scrolling. The image has to be good, and the hook has to be good. On LinkedIn, you get 2 sentences to set the hook, and then it's ... or read more, get more information. And that's what's going to create the initial engagement. Space out your text, continue reading, read more, get as much on there so you can get more visibility by those people clicking continue reading. And the relatable story, guys, all of this stuff is very easy once you understand what gets traction. All of this stuff, the lesson learned, the relatable story, the thought provoker, personal moment, all of these things, when you have an outline of what you need to do, can follow an outline, can automate some of this, not really that hard. Write text-only post on LinkedIn. Use emojis. They help. Visualization. Like your own LinkedIn post. Maybe not immediately, but if you've got something that's working and then maybe a few days later you want to try to recirculate it, it's a great way to do it. Share and embed your own LinkedIn post. Comment on other people's posts. It's not just about you. It's going to drive profile views. Use LinkedIn native videos. In other words, somebody shouldn't have to go outside LinkedIn to watch the video. If you can embed it into LinkedIn, algorithm will reward you. Encourage engagement in the first hour. Remember, that first 60 minutes is very, very crucial to having the algorithm disperse it over a wide audience. Don't post too much. This is not like Twitter. Maybe 5 max posts is probably what I do per week. And I try to keep those into the guidelines of pretty much Monday through Friday. Include no more than 3 hashtags on the post. Don't put 800 hashtags. It takes away from your post. Tag people only sparingly, very sparingly. And then use the follow first. Now, if you have almost no audience, then you need to build that audience with connections. But if you've got, let's say, at least 10,000 people, then you can start to switch where the main focus, if somebody lands on your profile, will be to follow you first instead of connect with you. And this is the follow setting link for that. And then if you have no idea what to post and you really need to go to a source to get some ideas, Reddit, Quora, these are all great things that you can go and see what's popular, see what people are talking about, and then publish the longer LinkedIn post to activate the See More feature. And if you're going to post, now remember, if you're at an event or something like that where it makes sense, post a carousel of pictures. If it's just a meme, don't post a bunch of memes together. But if you're at an event, at something that's worthwhile, make the carousel of photos. And then you can also have valuable PDFs on LinkedIn, and this will stay in your post for long periods of time. So if you've got PDFs that you've done or that you want to recycle, that's where you post them right there. And then play to the LinkedIn algorithm. You want to post at the best times, and that's really Tuesday through Thursday. Monday through Friday is okay. Right in the heart of that workday is really where you want to post, because that's when people are going to be most active on LinkedIn. And guys, LinkedIn is dying for you to get involved right now. They need to reach scale. Once they do, they can start charging a lot for their real estate. So you might think a lot of this stuff is fluff or just, basic tactics that you want to overlook because you don't see value there. But remember, people don't do business with companies they don't know. So all of this that you're trying to do, build brand, build rapport, build trust, build credibility to open conversations. Once again, if you are going after a certain type of person and you're connecting with those people, you're engaging with those people, you're posting things that are talking to those people, call them out. Hey, digital marketers, look at this tip. Hey, entrepreneurs. Hey, insurance agents. Hey, real estate agents. Whatever it is, call them out. Let them know you're talking to them. And also work as a team. You have the advantage of having a lot of people potentially in your organization. When you look at that and you look at what you're trying to do on LinkedIn, there is in your network, there's a teammate section, and you can add teammates. Now, they have to have the same work experience in terms of the company or whatever you're doing in the back end. But if they do, you can add them as teammates, and in your notifications, you'll see, hey, your teammate so-and-so just posted. You can help them with engagement. They can help you, mutually beneficial. And then just to kind of recap real quick, guys, it has huge organic potential. It's the best in terms of generating warm leads, meaningful connections, and engaging conversations. Don't just connect with random people. It drives down your engagement rate, confuses the algorithm. Use the search to find your true audience, whether it's hashtags, first, second-degree connections, relevant industries, fits your persona, stick to it, and then use certain keywords and hashtags to call out, once again, who you're trying to reach. LinkedIn understands that, and they'll boost the post to those people. Send connection requests, continue to build your audience, focus on video content, pre-recorded as well as live. Probably one of the things that I want to work most on in 2021 is going more live video. Connect with your audience through personal stories. People are going to be attracted to you first. And then use the first and second lines of your post to get that really engaging hook going. It's going to cause people to want to read more because, once again, algorithm rewards you for that. And then always interact with engagement. Don't kill a conversation by saying, hey, great point, thanks for commenting. Keep it going. Once again, if we were at a party and somebody comes up to you and talks to you and you say one word and walk away, it's kind of rude. Same thing here. Talk to the people, engage people, communicate with people, conversate with people. It's got value. And then use curated content to keep your audience engaged. Ask for their opinion. Remember, people love to give you their opinion. If you ask for it, it's going to drive engagement. And then prioritize quality over quantity all the time in everything that you do. And then don't focus solely on creating the content. You need to focus on promoting to get the good results. So great content is part of it. But great promotion is even better. Remember, we don't want to just compete on a platform like LinkedIn. We will all want to work together to dominate it because we know what type of a return in terms of revenue, income, growth, everything that we're looking for. that we can extract out of this platform. So this was week 1 of 2 weeks. Next week, we're going to get down into the nuts and bolts of what we do on a daily basis, how to drive engagement, how to get your messages out, everything that you need to set up so that you can go into 2021 with the idea and the mindset that, hey, I'm going to dominate this platform next year, and you can drive 6 figures off that on your business, one platform. So it is worth the time, energy, investment into learning how to dominate this platform because it does have a serious return.
Thank you so much, Mike. That was such a great training. I really got a lot out of it, and I hope you all did too. I'll go ahead and stop the recording, and then we'll open up the floor for questions or comments. Thanks so much for being here.